Hey everybody, Brian here. Just wanted to give you an update on the diesel heater that I picked up off of eBay. I do a lot of different styles of camping, from tents to the back of my truck. I got a best top soft cap that goes on here. I could take off real easy. We've got a makeshift camp down at one of our deer hunting leases. That's a storage container. Just trying to come up with a creative way to heat with dry heat and not have to use the propane. The little buddy heater works great, but sometimes you get a lot of condensation from it, and could be a little bit of an inconvenience with that. So I've been reading a lot and watching a lot of videos on these diesel heaters. So, you know, the price point's fantastic. For $120, I figured I'd give it a try. Other people seem to be having good luck with it, so just wanted to unbox it and get it together and show you guys what it's all about. So we got instruction manual. It's actually in English. I think these are straight from China, so it's good to have some English directions. Looks like an intake air filter with some zip ties and some clamps. Some wires. Couple of different flexible tubes, different sizes. That styrofoam off of there. Pretty compact unit. Not very heavy either. I mean, there's no fuel in this. I know the top half is a fuel tank, but surprisingly pretty compact and lightweight. It's got a remote control and a touch screen, touch panel here. I don't know if the screen's a touch screen, but got your different settings here. So we'll get that fired up and check out what all these are for. Exhaust pipe and another flexible outlet hose. Finally quit raining, so we're going to move this operation out here so I can work on my tailgate. Got these 4 clips, 2 on each side. I'll take this cap off. Pretty straightforward. Got your fuel tank, got the heater, fuel pump, power goes to the back, and your exhaust and intake, which I've got the 2 air intake and exhaust that I'll have to get installed here. Pretty simple. All right, so the instructions were kind of what I expected, not very helpful, but some of the stuff I watched on YouTube said that YouTube was your friend, which it always is for me for a lot of things. So I was able to get this taken care of, no problem. Start on the bottom here. Got the air intake. There's a little hole in the back here. I was able to run that up through there. and put the little air filter on there. There was a hole on the other side here to match this, to put this hose clamp on, kind of keep it out of the way from the intake of the heater. And this is the air intake for the motor. And then I think the fresh air goes in here and comes out the other side for the heat. Same thing with the exhaust, but there is no hole here on the other end like this, so I was able to run this through here. So I may drill that out, or I might just leave it off to the side here. It's not that big of a deal, but I was able to get it bent enough so this will sit flat with the exhaust. Also, this didn't come with a muffler. Some of them do and some of them don't, from what I've been seeing. So I might pick one up, depends on how loud it is. We'll check it out when we get it running, but I'll get this hooked up to some power and we'll go from there. Pretty straightforward, just positive and negative wire that comes with it. I've got this going into my homemade DIY portable power station. This pulls 5 watts, not very much at all. So I'm gonna get some diesel in here and we'll fire it up and give it a shot. Not sure if you can see that screen, it's so bright out here. But see what happens. So I just turned the temperature up. You can hear that fuel pump knocking a little bit. Getting everything primed up for the fuel pump. It's not very loud at all. There were some complaints on some of the reviews that said it's a really loud knocking sound, but I don't know if you can hear that, but it just sounds like a little tap. Got some exhaust starting to come out. So these have a system that they go through where they've got a startup system and a shutdown system. So it'll do this sort of in reverse. Once this gets going and you want to turn it down, but you can hear it picking up. There's some air blowing out of here. Oh, you can hear that. Sound like the heating element came on. All right, so we're cranking full bore now. Man, there's some heat coming out of there. I can't even hold my hand there very long. It feels amazing. Another cool thing, comes with a remote. You don't have to get out of your tent or out of the back of your truck. See, I can turn that down with the remote. Hopefully you can see that. It's so bright out here. Back up. You know, for this exhaust, it's not very loud at all. I'm not sure what the muffler does that some of them come with, but it's beautiful heat coming out of here. In hindsight, they have ones with just a single exhaust on here for the heat. And I think I would have rather have done that, but I'm just going to I need to buy a flexible hose anyway to reach up either into the back of my truck when I'm camping out of it or a tent. So I'll get that figured out too. but impressive. Everything's working great. It's not super loud. It's running off of my portable power station, so we'll turn it off here and see what it does coming down. All right, so I just hit the power button and it flashed off. And you can hear it starting to power down. And from everything I've seen, it has to go through a cool down cycle. So you don't want to disconnect it from power or anything, just let it do its thing. Man, that's impressive. $120 US. That's going to come in handy on those cold nights. All right, so it's completely shut down now. That took maybe 3-4 minutes total shutdown, but from what I understand, it has to cool down and go through its sequence. So safety issue, I suppose, but yeah, everything will be sitting outside, whether it's your tent or your truck camper or your cabin or whatever. Then you just run. I'm going to pick up a flexible hose or maybe even one of those rigid dryer vents or something long enough that you can run off of here and get the heat where you need it to be and keep the heater at a safe distance. So I'll put a link in the notes to the video for my portable power station, or you can find it by scrolling down on the channel here. I'm gonna put a plug on this. I just got it run through there to the battery now, but I'll put probably a cigarette lighter plug so I can just plug it in there for convenience. But pretty slick, pretty nice unit. I'm looking forward to staying warm and dry.